Remixes can be a tough challenge because it's not only your own work, but you're interfering with someone else's work. Here are some of my ideas regarding that topic and ways I would approach a remix. What's up everyone, Jonas here for Thomann Synthesizers, and today we are going to talk a little bit about remixes. In general, I think of course there are plenty of different ways to approach a remix, but summarized, I guess those can be divided into 3 categories. If you are an artist who's going with the flow, then I guess a playful, unrestricted approach might be for you. You don't think too much, just play with the stems and see where it leads to. No boundaries, just pure creative flow. You don't think about the outcome and whatever happens, happens. And perhaps some artists, including me, think about the project a little bit more carefully beforehand and what to do with it. And if you take this route, then I think there are 2 categories. The first category is staying in the same field or genre, but adjusting, adding things in your style to make it your own work. So I guess the original artist requested a remix because he liked your style of your tracks, so I guess pushing the track more into your sound palette is a great choice. Let's dive into a project in this category that I'm working on right now. I've really liked the original and I felt like I want to keep it in the same area, but with a more stripped down, forward techy UK twist in my style. When I listen to the original track, then I try to figure out what parts I can use or what stems. Perhaps I'm searching for something which is like really close to the things I would like to use in my tracks. So then I know, okay, I can keep those parts and I just have to add the things that are closer to my original tracks, let's say. So in this case, I really like the drums, like the clap and the hi-hat. And of course, like the vocal, which is perhaps besides the bass line, the most important element of the original tune. I wanted to keep the vocal and add a different bass line with a different attention. So I really love the vocal. We can have a listen to it again. So let's have a start into the remix I did. As mentioned, the most important part for me to create in this case was the bass line, and this one I did with the Access Virus. Actually, the bass line is developing throughout the whole track. A lot of modulation going on, switching from a high pass filter to a low pass filter and vice versa. This is like the first break, and then we really go deep into the bass line. So I wanted to have something kind of hypnotic but deep and driving to like keep everything moving on the dance floor, as I wanted to create a really, let's say, stripped down club tool with no exceptions, just straightforward to the point in my opinion. As mentioned, I wanted to keep the hi-hat and the clap, but I wanted to have a slightly different groove because the other one was very, very garagey kind of, which I love, and I love the original tune. But to make it my own version, I wanted to go away from this very garagey feel to a more, let's say, UK left field inspired tech house feeling. So the overall groove is actually kind of a dancehall tune actually, because of the rhythm of the sub and the use of the toms, but it's like more, let's say, like a hidden feeling, more or less just the groove, and everything which is like really in the foreground and taking the big role and the attention of the listener is more like tech housey. To push the stereo field, I've added some shakers. And to keep the track more organic, I've used some sort of original effects, but I've layered them in a bit different way and applied some effects on it, or plugins, dragging you a kind of special zone and just filling out the empty space around all those drums. So let's have a listen to the break, because in here I've used the original drums. I think it's a nice kind of reference where it's coming from, and moreover it's creating a special kind of tension within the break moment, in my opinion. Here are the main drums of the original track. Here are the main drums of the original track coming in. So the second category I would like to showcase is pushing the original track to a complete different style or genre. So this approach was very different, because the tune, the original tune, is actually just a kind of experimental ambient kind of, with a really hypnotic feeling that sucks you right in. But the original tune has no drums, nothing else, not a precise rhythm actually. So I knew this is actually a pretty nice canvas to paint on, but at the same time it was quite a challenge, as there are no, let's say, reference points you can work with to take it into a specific direction. So let's have a listen to the original tune. And I really like the kind of dubby chords on the side. And moreover, this has been a real challenge, because the stems I received for the remix are actually just 2. So when I have a project, there are sometimes, I don't know, 30, 40 tracks or stems. But in this case, it's just 2. It's because everything was recorded in one session. So I was like, okay, this is actually pretty rough to work with. But at the same time, this was actually quite nice, because after some minutes I was like, okay, actually this is not a lot I have to get my head around. I just can come straight to the core and experiment with the 2 tracks. So basically what I was doing, so I got like this recording. And the second one has been those chords. And that's it. And I knew I wanted to have the same kind of floaty feeling that sucks you in. And I wanted to create a tool, a DJ tool kind of, which you can play at any time to change directions without a kick drum, but you can play it as a peak time track perhaps. So it has to have some drive to me. And I took the original recording and I played around with it and got this kind of interesting rhythm. So it sounded to me kind of like, I don't know, weird dancehall kind of thing. And then I created the basic rhythm. So there is a kick drum, but just to have it more or less like a clock and not the real impact of the kick drum, because the actually bass is going to be this one. With additions of those. And the next thing I did was to extract the chords to create my own pad, to create a kind of more tension, to carry the floaty feeling, because otherwise it would be too less, in my opinion. and those notes on the chords or in the pad are actually very interesting because they are very close to each other, and the closer they are, the more tension they create. With this tune I wanted to have something that you can drop and everyone is like really kind of into the vibe, and I wanted to have something that is, I don't know, really standing out and unique. And there was a guy in my back head who I was thinking about because I was listening to some of his tracks a month ago, and I wanted to have something, because it's dancehall kind of approach on this tune, to have African vocals. And I reached out to Ayema from Stiff Pub, and I've sent him the tune, and he sent me like vocals, I think like a day later, maybe two. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comment section your ideas and thoughts about remixing. So thanks for watching and see you next time.
I'm like